when everybody's playing at the same time, I'm just kind of curious how they play out. They can win games. They won games last year. I believe they're going to win more games this year.
Welcome, guys. This is the 5th official episode of Undebatable. My name's Matthew.
My name is Carrie Wayne Abel Jr.
And this is Undebatable here. You know, three brothers making a sports podcast. Got our knowledge, our fame. We want to show y'all that we know what we're talking about. Let's get it rolling. Before we start off this podcast, I want to let everyone know, thank you so much for subscribing, giving us the views, giving us the likes and commenting. We love it. We hit 150 subscribers this week. Thank you so much. Well deserved. Thank you, everyone. Can't appreciate it more.
Thank you.
And make sure you put your input, put everything. I swear we appreciate it greatly. Michael does too.
Ring that bell.
And also, before we start this episode, we'd like to say Michael, his throat's hurting. He doesn't have COVID. He just been sucking too much dick.
What did he say?
From last episode.
What did he say?
But no, he's just hurts. His throat's hurting really bad, so he can't really talk. He's just gonna be right on the board. So he's gonna be doing his thing. He's gonna be on the board. But me and Carrie are gonna give our opinions and our topics on this episode. So Carrie, you want to tell them the topic?
The topic for this week's episode is going into week 7. Who do we think will face off in the Super Bowl this year?
And Carrie, would you like to go first, my boy?
Would I?
What did he say?
All right. So going into week 7, I believe it's going to be Chargers winning the AFC and the New Orleans Saints winning the NFC. Now, I know all my fans out there will agree with me. I'm going to tell you the reasons why. I'm going to start off with the Chargers. So, the Chargers, starting off with reason one, their division. You got the Raiders. So, John Gruden was recently let go, and we all know what happens when you lose a head coach.
Who the fuck is that
Now,
guy?
they did beat the Broncos.
That
They beat the Broncos. What the fuck? They beat the Broncos without their coach. Now, granted, they beat a Broncos decent team. They have a good defense. Their offense is not electrifying. And they got Teddy Bridgewater. They're not going to go far. They're not going to Super Bowl this year. Good team, not going far. 2, Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs, at first I was shocked, when they beat the Chiefs. But when I was looking at last year's stats to this year, the Chiefs ranked 11th in defense last year. Also, last year they had like 7 games where they allowed teams scoring over 20 points. This year, 2021, 5 games in, they had 5 games with points scoring over 29 points. That's not good. Right now, they drop below 20. They're ranked between 20 and 30 right now in defense. They can't stop anybody on defense, which is forcing Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball. And the problem is, another thing with the Chiefs team as a whole is they don't have a true number 2 receiver. They kind of suffered and took a step back again when they lost Sammy Watkins in free agency. So they try to pick up Josh Gordon. Right now, they're thinking he could be that person, but I just don't see it either, And they're having injury problem, O-line and also with their running back. So right now, they're banged up, and I think they have a chance of making playoffs. I just don't see them going a distance like they did last year. Now, that being said, going into my third reason, the Broncos, as you know, I said before, they're average. They're okay on defense. Their offense isn't potent. I can't believe I said potent.
What did he say?
Their offense is not potent, and they got Teddy. So I think the Chargers, as a team, their defense, is average, which is good, but they have playmaking ability, which you want. They did lose to Dallas in the beginning of the season. It was a low-scoring game, but they lost that game off of turnovers, and everybody knows when you start the season off, it's a rough start. You're trying to gel with your team to get it going. They won a good couple of games. They beat KC, the Raiders, a Browns team healthy, but they just lost to the Ravens. Now, granted, they traveled to the Ravens and lost 2 at the Ravens, so they didn't look impressive. But you know what? I think that loss needed to humble them, like we did, the Saints did to the Packers. We humbled the Packers, and I think the Chargers losing to the Ravens doesn't mean much. I think they're just gonna. I think they're gonna learn from their mistakes and they're gonna move forward. I think if they play the Ravens again, it'd be a different ball game. I love their offense because they have a ton of playmakers. They got Abe as their quarterback, Eckler, Cook, Allen, and Williams. So I think they can be a team to take on other teams toe-to-toe. So that is why I think the Chargers. Now let's go back to the Saints. Why I think the Saints is going to the Super Bowl, baby. Saints are winning the NFC South this year. Now, just because we lost to the Panthers doesn't mean anything. You work out the kinks. Now, we played the Panthers missing a bunch of players, and we had 20 coaches with COVID. Now, the O-line was at its worst, and we're going to bounce back. Typically, you can lose 2 division games and still take on the division, so I'm not even worried about that. You can say that, Mike. All right. Now, I say this because the Saints are a different team when healthy, and we all know this. When we played Green Bay, we practically had everybody but Onyemata and Michael Thomas and Will Lutz. Now, we did such good when we were healthy. Our defense put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They folded. But after that game, everybody went to injuries. So I believe, number 2, when the Saints defense is healthy, having all our playmakers playing at the same time, I don't think an offense is going to stand a chance. I think the Bucks will fall to us. And granted, they fell to us how many times last year, Matt? Can you? How many times did we beat them twice?
Dose.
All right, we beat them twice. And you know why? It's because we put pressure on Brady. And I'm going to tell you again, and you can call me or whatever with the defense, but we have a lot of stars out on the defense. And now when everybody comes back, you can only imagine what the defense is going to wreak havoc on all these electrifying offenses out there. And I guess 3, I believe in our offense. Right now, we have not seen the high caliber offense that we've always seen. Again, we're missing a bunch of people. But I think when you have a healthy O-line, you have Kamara and Jones, Michael Thomas comes back. I know y'all don't believe in Traquan Smith because he's always injury. We have Kenny Stills, Callaway,
Who the fuck is that guy?
Deontay Harris, Juwan John. Our offense has a bunch of people on it, and I just when everybody's playing at the same time, I'm just kind of curious how they play out. They can win games. They won games last year. I believe they're going to win more games this year. And if they can win Teddy and Tay last year, I think we can win games with Jameis Winston this year. So I guess the closing thing is. I just think that the Saints, we have not seen the full badass Saints come out of the door yet. I'm being for real. Like, we're coming off a bye week. We have a bunch of people coming back. I'm kind of curious how our team looks. I mean, we don't know what Michael Thomas is going to do. When Jameis Winston had a healthy O-line against the Packers, he wasn't pressured and he threw the ball. He may have not thrown 500 yards, but he made good decisions, making good passes. For him having more supportive cast around him, I just think that we may not beat teams 50 points like we've done in the past, but I think our defense being a top 5 defense and with us having a offense right now similar to the Broncos offense, you have somebody that can manage the team with some playmakers. I think we can beat any teams out there. So, I mean, like Saints, Chargers, and look, Michael, we can come back to this point when the Saints get better in the, like in the season, just like how with Lamar, I mean, I think people are going to be like, you know what, Carrie, I believe you were right.
Why the fuck you lie?
All right, guys, before I get to my point,
Let's go!
I'm going to wait to roast Carrie later about his picks.
I love
later.
it. I love it.
But, Michael, how do you feel? I want to know.
That's because
to the camera.
Okay, well, before Matthew, I just want to. Yeah, I can read it. It says Saints are the best. No, it says Saints are near last in passing yards. I just want to throw this out there right now, Michael. I just let you know before you start talking.
Oh, well.
Injuries. We don't have Quan Alexander. Okay, We don't have David Onyemata. We don't have defensive ends that are healthy. You don't have Davenport that's in there. You put all our playmakers back in there, our defense is going to put up plays like that against the Giants. I'm just throwing it out there. Just wait until our team comes back whole. That's all I'm saying.
I was talking about offensive yards.
Oh, if you're talking about offensive yards, yes. You got to wait till our playmakers come back with a healthy O-line.
Respect.
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to light it up like the Chiefs, but we're going to have a good concoction where the Saints are going to put up points and win.
Respect to you.
Just
Go,
saying.
Matt.
Go, Matt.
Okay. Let's just get a round of applause for me. Alrighty. But let's be real. I'm going to roast Carrie out there about his picks, but I'm going to give my 2 picks because, you know me, Abel, Matt, Chew, always right. Good looking, buff. Psst, you know what I'm saying? So, you did the wrong one, bitch.
I wanted the cricket.
But just to get this started, my 2 picks, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of nosy people.
No.
My 2 picks are going to be the Cardinals versus the Ravens.
What did he say?
Thank you, Stephen A. Smith.
Now look, I think we had a misunderstanding last week. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion.
He's recanting.
No, I'm going to be real. So, my point on Lamar, he's gotten better passing. The only thing that bothers me about Lamar is just he's not consistent passing.
Facts.
He's been throwing for a lot more yards, which I give him so much props for with the receivers he has. But the thing that just sucks is just he's inconsistent.
Facts.
But he's going to get better. I can see he's going to get better.
We hope.
I know with the talent he has, like Brown's not an ass receiver. He's average. Mark Andrews isn't an ass tight end. He's a little bit above average, maybe average. His O-line's average. But you got to realize, like, Lamar's offense and defense, I just feel like the Ravens had the most, like, completed team, even with injuries, right? What shocked me more with Lamar is that, yes, as a QB, I want to see him pass it more and be a better QB. But what everyone really has to come and realize is Lamar isn't that. You're not going to look at Lamar and say, oh, my God, he throws like Peyton or he throws like Aaron. Lamar's his own being, which I give him that. You think, okay, he runs the ball. You think, okay, let's stop him. But teams haven't been stopping him, let's be real. And, he hasn't been against the best defenses, but still, average and above defenses, they couldn't stop him. Would you give him that, you know? He knows how to manage a game and score points. He can make everyone on the offense better. If he plays the best, he's going to make everyone play better. He just made Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon, never going to play again, Bell,
That's my line.
and Latavius Murray score each a touchdown. He could have took those himself. You know what I'm saying? I just personally feel like, at first when the Ravens were playing, I'm like, oh my God, they're overrated, right? But then you got to look at it, dude. They just fucking clapped the Chargers Chiefs, and they just clapped them. And yeah, it's 2 games. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Chiefs. But it's like, how can you stop that? And there's still injuries. Rashawn Bateman's going to come back. He's going to play with his offense. The Ravens can sign free agents. They can get trades. They can get a new running back. They can get better receivers. Their defense, even though a lot of people are hurt, they're still average. They stop. I want y'all to understand this. Justin Herbert just went off for 5 touchdowns. And you know what his sorry ass did against the Chargers? With Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Tyrell Williams, Keenan Allen, Jared Cook, their O-line. This is what he did.
All of them.
This is what he did.
5 years later.
5 years later, 22 for 39, 195 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And guys, you know what the score was? 34-6. 6 points in the first half. That's just insane. I just think if Lamar's doing what he's doing, if his defense keeps playing average, they're going to go far. And I do believe they can get to Super Bowl. Because look at the AFC, right? Everyone in the AFC is a bunch of what ifs. Chargers are a what if. Ravens are a what if. Chiefs. The Chiefs have such a bad defense. Patrick Mahomes can't do enough
They're
anymore.
last in the division
he
right
can't.
now.
Because even though his offense is booming, his defense is just fucking busting right now. Like, sucks. And I just feel like the Ravens could sneak into the Super Bowl and they can do some damage. And the only thing that sucks with Lamar,
What did he say?
I just hope he doesn't choke in the playoffs. I think he could do good. Thing is, people out there saying, "Oh, he always chokes in the playoffs." What did Peyton Manning do? His first years in the playoffs, he got his cheeks clapped like Lana Rhodes, bro. He did. Everyone's gonna get better. Just because they lose a couple games in the playoffs doesn't mean they're ass. Look at Matthew Stafford. His one playoff game he went to, he got his cheeks clapped too. Now he's on the Rams with a better offense. Let's see what he can do. So the Ravens are my first pick for the Super Bowl, and the other side's Cardinals. And y'all know why the Cardinals are the other pick. Look at them. Their defense is good, above average. Their offense is above average. They have Kyler Murray, who just like Lamar, they can't stop him. He can rush, and he can throw better than Lamar. Put that on top of that. And he has better receivers than Lamar. Dude, and they just signed Zach Ertz. And yeah, he's not the all-pro he once was, but he's still an average tight end. I'm just saying the Cardinals have another complete offense, and their defense is more complete than any other defense other than like the Rams. And I think it'd be a good matchup. I think the Cardinals, they just fucking clap the Rams' cheeks. You don't think they can clap Brady's cheeks? Like, you got to think about it, dude. You have two powerful offenses in the Ravens and the Cardinals. They're both just going to get better. There are going to be people coming back from injuries. People can get traded. People can get signed. I want you to understand this. I think the AFC is a bunch of what ifs. The NFC have more like talented teams, honestly. But let's be real. It makes the most sense. Both offenses doing booming. Both defenses playing better. Come on, y'all. Think about it, Carrie. How do you feel, though?
I don't know. When you say about you said the Ravens are average defense.
No, I'm saying they're playing like, you know how Dallas is right now? Do you think Dallas is a top 10 defense?
No.
But is their defense doing just enough for them to win?
They're at what was it I said? I think they were at like a 25 overall.
Defense. Yeah. Dallas, right?
Because they're passing. Yeah.
But aren't they doing just enough? Like, their defense, it doesn't matter what you're ranked if your defense is doing turnovers, which they did.
Yeah, I just
think about it, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, like, with the Cardinals, I don't think their defense is average. I think they're a little bit below average.
Shut down the Rams.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying is Arizona is not known for like stopping passing and rushing yards. Their big thing with them is turnovers. You know, right now they're ranked 21.
The Cardinals or the Ravens?
The Cardinals.
Oh.
The Cardinals. The reason why I'm not a believer in the Cardinals, they're 6-0. I feel like the second half of the season, we're going to see their true colors. I don't see them beating the Rams again. I don't see them going undefeated in their division. The Cardinals' offense isn't potent, but it's good. You know, you got Kyler Murray.
Which defense are you looking at?
I was
like all total defense?
Week 6. That's the rankings.
Well, they're ranked on ESPN. They're ranked 10th.
But that's yards.
That's total.
Yeah, that's total yards.
That's total everything.
I'm on football.
I hate you. Keep going, though.
Okay. I'm just saying that's what this one's saying. All I'm saying is with the Cardinals is their offense isn't potent and they're up and down a lot, right? And they're up and down, but they're 6-0. So their offense, they're winning games with their defense with the turnovers, and at the end of the game, they're winning. They're not blowing out teams. They're pulling out the wins, but they're not dominating like X out, this is the best team, blah, blah, blah. They're pulling out wins, which is good. I just don't see when the Cardinals go into playoffs that they're going to be doing what they're doing now. The Ravens, they're going to go to playoffs because I was looking at their schedule. They're going to win. The second half of the schedule is pretty trash. I mean, Minnesota can upset them. Cincinnati's going to be a tough matchup with Joe Burrow. Chicago, Cleveland with the banged up team, banged up Pittsburgh. Green Bay will be a tough matchup for them. They played the Bengals again. And you never know. Right now, like the Ravens are leading the division, right? I mean, the Bengals could take the division this year. That doesn't mean the Ravens won't make playoffs. They will because there's 7 teams going into playoffs. But Ravens going into playoffs, they could go to the AFC Championship. I just don't see them going into Super Bowl this year. I don't think this is the year Lamar takes them, not with that team, not with their receiving core, not with their defense. Their defense average at best, but they're not doing there's too many other better all-around teams than the Ravens. What you said, I agree with Lamar Jackson. Like, people believe in him. If he's doing good, he pumps them up. They win games. But when it comes to when he does bad and he chokes, then the whole team does bad around him, And that's a lot of pressure on one person to carry him to the Super Bowl.
Can I ask you something?
Go for it.
You said there's a whole bunch of teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
That's better than the Ravens.
I think so. I think all around. I'm not saying by record. I'm saying is by talent and depth-wise, I think.
There's a lot of teams that are better than the Saints.
Well, you say that. I'm just saying this from my point of view is I think the Saints hasn't played anybody fully healthy with all their players. And I think the second half of the season when the Saints have all their players, I want to see what the Saints can really do. And you can't answer that question because you don't know. Because we've played people with a lot of people on injured reserve. I think the Saints is going to have a different identity when it comes back. We're going to see a different Saints the second half of the season. Right now, have y'all not frowned upon the Saints with their offense? You're like, ugh, right? Come on. I think seeing, and then the first game with the Packers, and I'll let you talk, we had majority of the players in that game. We shut down the Packers. That's Aaron Rodgers. We put pressure on him. We've never seen the Saints do that to a quarterback at that caliber level. Like, we've never done that before because they've always torn us apart to pieces. But what I'm saying is, with all these pieces coming back, we're going to be a under-the-radar team. We're going to be a scary team. And right now, you got all these other teams with the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bucks. But right now, nobody's talking about the Saints. I wouldn't be talking about the Saints right now, but I'm just being open-minded about, like, you can't count the Saints out. Not what they've done with these past couple of seasons, building that defense up. If the Saints go far, it's because of their defense, and they have an offense that can pull the trigger.
So, before getting to about my teams, I'm gonna tell you about yours. So the reason why I do think the Chargers could have a chance, I think that's a decent pick behind the Ravens, but the Saints, Carrie, and I'm gonna be real.
No,
let's be real.
I'm not gonna believe it.
It's scary looking at Jameis throwing. It's scary knowing what he's going to do because you don't know. Let's be real.
That's the question.
But that's the thing, though. When the Saints are in moments, example, the Giants, like in the Panthers, but the Giants have a decent defense.
But that's what I'm telling you.
The Panthers have a better defense.
Matthew, I'm saying when we get the players back. We've seen
Carrie,
them with...
Do you realize every team is going to get players back? Like, everyone's hurt. Lamar lost his whole running back core. There's teams who... San Francisco doesn't have a QB and they're barely winning.
Matthew, I know that. What I'm saying is, what makes the Saints potent? Their offensive line, right?
Yeah.
Michael Thomas is the game changer, right?
Yeah, but he's coming off of injury.
I know they are, but what I'm saying is... All I'm saying is that when these people come back healthy, which were after the bye week, and Michael Thomas may not be back for the Seattle game, which I'm not worried about. I'm just saying is we played the Giants and the Panthers without a bunch of playmakers.
But the Giants aren't, like, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. The Giants and Panthers carry, and I feel bad. I think in your mind, you just have so much hope, and which I get, I had hope too, Mike. Like in the Giants, I did. But and let's be real. You can't hope that a Michael Thomas coming back and a Quan Alexander coming back and our O-line coming back is going to save the Saints.
David Onyemata.
When I tell you
Marcus
there's
Davenport.
teams in the NFC and the AFC, I just know who can just fucking bust up the Saints. Like, how would the Saints stop the Ravens? How would they stop Lamar?
First of all,
how though? Tell me.
First
they
of all,
couldn't stop Daniel Jones and Saquon and Kadarius Toney. You know who that is?
Matthew, when we get into the playoffs, we're going to have all our playmakers
And what
back.
happens in the playoffs usually with the Saints? Your same argument with Lamar is the same argument
which I'm going to bring it back. What's killed us in the playoffs every past couple of years. No, not 2017 when we were playing against the Vikings. How many people were on injured reserve, Michael?
Stop,
No. I'm going to bring up the injuries.
like it does matter, but
my
like, come
point
on.
with this conversation is what I feel like second half of the season going to Super Bowl, a healthy Saints team, which means we get all our playmakers back. The Saints have a different identity. But the Saints, with a bunch of people out, they're not going to beat nobody. That's all I'm saying.
Point blank, at the end of the day, I think the Saints... I think he's overrating the Saints right now.
It's okay.
I love the Saints, but I don't see us beating the Rams, the Cardinals. I don't see us beating the Bucks. And I get it. He's a
it's okay.
Saints fan who's still
For
living in
life, baby.
2009. I get it.
What the fuck?
But the Chargers are a decent. I would say the Chargers are another decent pick. But bottom line is,
Chargers
Saints
for
aren't
real.
really. But let's be realistic with the Cardinals and the Ravens. The Cardinals' schedule is so easy that they literally can easily win.
Buns.
The Texans, they can win. Packers, San Francisco, they can clap their cheeks. Panthers, Seahawks twice. Bears, like they can low-key go 14-3, 15-2. They have that potential. Just like the Ravens schedule, they have to verse a hurt Browns twice, a hurt Steelers twice. You got to think about it this way, Carrie. Look at both of their schedules. Look at both of their teams. Cardinals and Ravens are just going to get better. Lamar's going to get better. Kyler Murray's going to get better. You can't make Jameis throw better.
What I'm saying is with the Cardinals, though, is that's the point is with Kyler Murray. And I like Kyler Murray. I'm not hating on him. But with that offense, it's so – and I know the Saints, we haven't seen it yet. But when I'm talking about – we've seen it with the Bucks. We've seen it with the Rams. I've not seen it yet with the Cardinals.
You're blind. You're Stevie Wonder. You're fucking Stevie Wonder, my boy.
I've not seen them demolish somebody. No. I'm saying is
they demolished the Rams, Carrie. The best team in the NFL. They demolished them.
Rams is not the best team.
Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, guys.
You were just knocking on their defense a couple weeks ago with their like, the cornerbacks, Carrie. They're cornerbacks.
Well, their secondaries that everyone knows. Okay, guys. I think we all heard enough. Y'all know our points. Okay, Carrie. Oh no, he has so much. Oh my God, I can't.
Let's go.
We're gonna end this episode, but I want to let everyone know. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking it.
Hit the bell,
Make sure you
baby.
comment. I swear we love it. We appreciate it. We love all the comments. Look,
Michael, who is your picks?
It's the Ravens and the Rams.
I just vomited in my mouth.
but thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you.
so
Roast
much.
Carrie in the comments because
Don't
he
roast
loves
me.
the Saints so much. And Michael, everyone
Tell
give
me
a round
how
of
you
applause
feel,
for
baby.
Michael. Thank you, everyone. Let's get it rolling.
Till next time, baby.
We'll see you next time.
We do not care.